Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. My name is Katie Buffington, and on my channel I like to share some cleaning motivation, some decluttering, some organizing, some homemaking, and today's video is going to be deep cleaning in my kitchen. So the whole video is going to be focused on cleaning, decluttering, and organizing in this messy kitchen. So I'm giving you an overview first thing in the morning of what it looks like. And then we're going to get started by just picking up some of the general clutter laying around in the kitchen. I want to go ahead and take a moment right at the beginning to just apologize if you can tell that I am feeling a little bit under the weather right now. My voice is a little stuffy, I've got some congestion, and I just have not been feeling well for a few days. And so in this video, I also feel like I should apologize for my appearance. We have just been kind of hanging around the house, so no makeup, hair in a messy bun, in my cleaning clothes. But anyway, we are just a little under the weather over here, but no worries, we are hanging in there and everything is fine. So today I wanted to first just clean in my kitchen, and once I got in here and started cleaning, I realized that it could really use a deep cleaning. And so kind of the more I went about cleaning, the more I realized needed to be done. So I decided to just go ahead and focus an extended period of time in my kitchen and get it really good and deep cleaned instead of just getting the whole house picked up. So I ended up spending the majority of a whole day in here cleaning off and on between, you know, fixing lunch for the kids and doing some laundry and some other things off camera. The majority of my day was spent totally in the kitchen cleaning. For about the past month, I've been using these Jaws cleaners, which you see me using the granite countertop cleaner from Jaws here. I really have liked them. In this video, I think you're going to see me use a couple of them, including one new one that I had never used before. They are really convenient. They seem to do a good cleaning. They are non-toxic, and they have a really light smell, so it's not overwhelming if you are not someone who likes a strong smell to your cleaners. I mentioned a couple videos ago that we have some neighbors who have a really nice garden, and they are so kind every once in a while to bring us over a bag with some of the things that they've grown in their garden to share with us. I think a couple videos ago I had a bag of okra that they had brought over, and the day before I filmed this video they brought over this watermelon from their garden. So that was so nice of them to share with us. So since it had been sitting on the counter, I decided to go ahead and get that cut up. Nathan was taking the trash off this morning, and so I wanted to go ahead and get that watermelon cut up so that he could take the rind if he wanted to. Sometimes he takes it in the trash, and a lot of times he just throws things like that into some woods that we have behind our house. But either way, I wanted to get that watermelon cut up and get that rind ready so that he could do whatever he wanted to do with it. I had a quick question for you guys thinking about cutting up this fruit. My children are super picky eaters, both of them. I have two children. Adeline is almost 10 and Coleman is almost 7. They are both super picky eaters, and they are picky about different things. Typically, Coleman eats more fruits and Adeline eats more vegetables. The things that they do like typically don't align, and it's really hard to find, especially a whole meal that they both will eat. I know that picky eaters in children is common, but it drives me crazy. So I was curious, as we have started back to school recently and I have been fixing lunch boxes for them, I have been trying to encourage them to take more fruits or vegetables in their lunch boxes or for their after school snacks when we get home. So I wanted to just ask you guys, what are some favorite healthy snacks that your children like to take in their lunch boxes or for an afternoon snack? And if you have picky eaters, share with me in the comments below, what are some things that you have done to try to encourage your children to eat new things and to get them to like new things? Help a mama out, please. I am using the Mrs. Meyer's multi-surface spray here in the scent Basil to just clean off some of my kitchen appliances. It's a really quick and easy cleaner to use if you just want a general cleaner for anything. I use it on my countertops, I use it on my appliances. You're gonna see me use it here in a little bit to clean my cabinets. I use it on my wood furniture to dust. So it is a really good, just general cleaner, and I have loved every scent that I have ever had in the Mrs. Meyer's cleaners. While I'm cleaning my appliances, it also made me think that I wanted to ask if anybody has a tip for this. When I was cleaning the front of my oven, I noticed that between the glass panes on my oven, so the window where you look in, it looks super dusty, but I can't get it off. I have cleaned the outside of the glass and I've cleaned the inside of the glass, but it is like between two panes of glass, it looks super dusty. And so I don't even know if there is a way to clean that or if it's just, it is what it is. But if you have any suggestions, if you've ever noticed that problem or come up with a way to clean it, let me know, because it has been driving me crazy the last few times when I have cleaned my appliances. I know I've mentioned this a couple of times before in my videos too, but I always think it's funny when I'm washing a canteen. I feel like I wash it almost every time I show dishwashing in my videos. I have mentioned before that my son Coleman is obsessed with all things Army. If you have watched any of my old videos, you probably have seen him walking around the house in his camouflage fatigues. His last birthday party last October was Army themed because he was obsessed with it then, and his birthday coming up here in just a couple of months, he wants another Army birthday party. He cannot get enough of it. And so he got this canteen. Actually, I think he's got maybe 3 canteens at this point, from like an Army Navy surplus store that he and Nathan went to a while back. And we only let him drink water out of them just because they're kind of hard to clean. The bottle brush I have won't fit in there. And so anyway, he's only allowed to drink water out of them in case he doesn't screw the top on and they spill. But it seems like every time I go to wash dishes, there is a canteen, military grade type canteen in my sink. And that is why, because Coleman loves them. He loves playing with them. He loves drinking out of them. He is just Army obsessed all the way around. I had noticed when I was recording my last video for last week, I was unloading the dishwasher, and when I opened some of these cabinets to put the dishes away, literally there was like an avalanche of dishes falling out of the cabinets as I was trying to put dishes away. And so that was my first clue that I needed to maybe try to declutter and organize a little bit in these kitchen cabinets. And then today, when I got ready to cut that watermelon open, I opened the cabinets trying to find some bowls to put the watermelon in when I cut it. And I was having a really hard time finding a bowl with a lid that matched it. And so that kind of, I guess, was the straw that broke the camel's back, that I needed to go ahead and clean the cabinets. I'm not going to be cleaning every single kitchen cabinet today. I'm cleaning the ones that we use most often because those are the ones that are in the worst shape. Now, our cabinets where our cups and coffee mugs and the kids' water bottles and all of those things stay, I did clean and declutter and organize those cabinets a few weeks ago, but I did not film it for that week's video. I just did that when we were getting ready for back to school because I had bought some new water bottles for the kids for school, and I needed to just purge a lot of old things. We still had a lot of old sippy cups and things like that. So those cabinets had already been cleaned and decluttered maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. But these main cabinets where our plates stay, our bowls, the lunchbox things that I use for the kids, the bowls where we put leftovers after dinner and things like that were just out of control. So I'm just starting by emptying out the cabinets one at a time, wiping them down again with that Mrs. Meyer's multi-surface spray, and then kind of going through what was in there and trying to put it back in a little more organized. this cabinet here was my biggest reason for wanting to do this today. This is the cabinet where the bowls fell out on top of me last week, and it is also the cabinet where I couldn't find a lid to match a bowl for the watermelon today. So this is where I knew it had to be handled right now. I couldn't take it anymore. We recently just got a lot of these new bowls that you see me pulling out with the gray lids. That is because when we bought the kids new lunch boxes for back to school this year, a couple of those lunch boxes came with small containers inside. And since I knew that those were good containers that had lids that fit and matched and had not been stained or warped in the dishwasher, I decided to go ahead and keep those. There's some more on that top shelf. But it just made a lot more bowls in the cabinets here recently. So once I got everything out of the cabinets and went ahead and wiped down the inside, I started going through, there were some things that I could get rid of in this cabinet. So I started going through everything that I had pulled out and first finding things that I knew I could stack together. Things that had come as a set, like these glass bowls, you know, there were small, medium, large, and I knew that they could all stack together. They just don't always get stacked back together when they get washed separately in the dishwasher. So I did some stacking first, and then I went through and found things that I knew I used often, like the little colander bowls that I used to wash my fruit out in, or the plates that I use for leftovers when I take leftovers to school with me. These collapsible bowls I really like. So I set those aside, and then I started trying to find bowls that had lids and matching them up. That way, if there was a lid that had no bowl or a bowl that had no lid, I knew I didn't want to keep those things. So I got rid of those. I had a couple that had a lid, but like I said, maybe they had gotten warped in the dishwasher over time and they didn't fit that well anymore. And so I went ahead and got rid of those. There were some that maybe people had brought us food in that were just kind of disposable containers that were not really good ones that we could get rid of. Or I did give some of them to Nathan to keep some of his grilling supplies in the grill closet. So anyway, once I had everything matched up and kind of purged the ones that I didn't need anymore, I again tried to just put them back in a little bit more neatly where I could see what was going on. Nothing would fall on me, and I had so much more room in that cabinet when I was done. While I was opening and closing these cabinets and cleaning them out, I noticed that the outside of the cabinets also were pretty disgusting. They just needed a really good cleaning too. There were food splatters and fingerprints and just all kinds of dust and dog hair. So anyway, I decided to go ahead and clean those while I was in there. It was another one of those things that was not originally on my plan for this day, but became part of the kitchen cleaning. I started with again, that Mrs. Meyer's multi-surface spray to just give them a quick spray down. And really that took off most of everything that needed to be cleaned. Most of the dust, the dog hair, the fingerprints, the splatters, the food splatters. Most of that came off pretty easily just with the Mrs. Meyer's cleaner. You are going to see when I move over to the other side, closer to the stove and the oven, the stains are a little more stuck on. There are like some grease splatter and just some sticky things from the vent hood of the oven over there. And so I am going to end up taking out a new Jaws cleaner. I had not tried this one yet. It was the kitchen cleaner from Jaws, and it has a degreaser in it. And so in just a minute, you're going to see me work with that. But right now, I'm just starting by wiping off the ones that are further away from the cooking surfaces, and the Mrs. Meyer spray works perfectly fine. Speaking of splatters, I have no idea what I have splattered all over my shirt by this point in the video, so excuse that. I am now moving over a little bit closer to my stove, my oven, my microwave, so I'm starting to notice that things are a little more stuck on in this area. I still did start these cabinets again with just the Mrs. Meyer's multi-surface spray, but then as I came down off that ladder and started looking like in the corners of the cabinets, in the cracks, like where the, I guess the routing on the cabinets is, it was hard for me to get down in those corners good and get some of the stickiness out of there. So I ended up grabbing a toothbrush out of my laundry room, just a cleaning toothbrush that I use sometimes to scrub a stain when I'm doing laundry. So I just grabbed that toothbrush and brought it in. I just put some hot water on it and just used the spray, the cleaner that was already on the cabinets from the cleaning I had been doing. And I just scrubbed right around the handles and in the corners of those cabinets to get that sticky stuff out of there. And it was pretty simple to get out once I got the right tool to do that. When I started cleaning over the top of the vent hood here for the stove, I did notice that even though the dust and the dirtiness came off, it didn't look dirty anymore, it still felt sticky. And I think it was just from the steam coming out of the hood and just some of the cooking things. And so I grabbed that kitchen cleaner. I'm going to show it to you here in a minute. It's the Jaws kitchen cleaner, which, like I said, it has a degreaser in it. And so after I cleaned the front of the cabinet doors, I just took that degreaser and sprayed it down and wiped it off with a paper towel, and that got the sticky, greasy part off after I cleaned. These cabinets really did look so much better when I finished. It really made me realize that I probably should do that a little bit more often. Just give them a quick wipe down before they get too caked on like that. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, on this morning, Nathan was taking the trash off, making a big trash run. Whenever he does that, he a lot of times likes to look into the refrigerator and see if there are any old leftovers or maybe food that's going bad that he can take off while he's going. And so he had done that this morning while I was working on the cabinets. But while he was in there, I happened to glance in and notice that this was another one of those areas that I did not have slated on my agenda to do today. But while I was in here, they needed some attention also. So he had taken off a lot of just old, like, to-go cartons from restaurants and things like that that needed to go, but just some general organizing. We had a few things that had expired that needed to be gone through. Somehow we always end up with like 2 open jars of pickles that can just be condensed or just things like that. There were not any big bad spills or anything really disgusting, so I did not take all of my shelves out of the refrigerator. I just started by emptying everything out onto the countertop. I sprayed some Dawn Power Wash into the refrigerator on the shelves and walls and just used a warm washcloth and was able to get everything cleaned off the shelves while I was going through what needed to go back in. You can see Coleman pop in right here in this clip. You can't really see him. You can just see this little plate that he's holding. So he had come in to ask me a couple questions while I was cleaning in here. I think he was trying to make some slime and was asking me about helping him with that slime. So anyway, I don't really think that you see my kids pop in that much this week, but they are there just kind of roaming around doing their own thing, kind of trying to stay away from mommy because I wasn't feeling super good, like I said, these past couple days. Anyway, after I finished with the refrigerator shelves, I started working on the drawers, and these were a little bit dirtier. I had seen on a video from the channel Jamie's Journey. If you've never watched her before, she is one of the YouTubers that I love watching, probably one of my top 3 favorites. And I saw a little tip on her channel a couple weeks ago. She talked about cleaning her refrigerator, and she took the shelves and drawers and put them into the bathtub instead of trying to wash them in her kitchen sink. And I just thought that was genius, how much more room you have in a shower. So I took these into the kids' bathroom, rinsed them out first, and then sprayed them with that same Dawn Power Wash dish detergent, and then I was just able to scrub them both right there in the shower or in the bathtub, and then rinse them out and just rinse it right down the tub. It worked out really great. The only thing that I would say in the future is that I probably would do this maybe in my bathtub next time, because in our kids' bathroom, they have sliding glass doors on their shower. You can kind of see me moving them there at the edge of the screen. And so it makes it a little bit harder to kind of maneuver inside their tub. So I was kind of going back and forth when I needed to rinse and when I needed to wash. But anyway, it worked out really nice to get that stuff cleaned off of the drawers. And then since I was in the kids' bathroom working, I just grabbed one of their little hooded towels, the little kids' towel, to dry those drawers off right there on the bath mat, so that whenever I took them back into the kitchen, they were ready to stick straight back into the refrigerator. Our freezer just needed some general organization. We have like 1,000 of these little ice packs that go in like a cooler or the kids' lunch boxes. Again, I think that those have just come with lunch boxes that we've bought over the years, and we have just accumulated so many of those little ice packs. In fact, when I was cleaning them out today, I went ahead and grabbed a few and put them out in, we have a stand-up freezer out in our pool house, and so I went ahead and just moved some of them out of there because they were getting a little bit out of control. So anyway, there was not a whole lot that I needed to throw away out of the freezer. There were just a couple of things that needed to go, and then again, more of just kind of organizing where things are so that I can see better when I look in. Adeline has been very into science experiments lately. She likes trying new recipes for slime, and she has been wanting to make these slushies out of different things for snacks. And so you can see this little bowl sitting in the freezer. She was freezing something. I don't know if it was sweet tea or Coke. I don't know what it was, but anyway, something that she had poured into a bowl and put into the freezer as an experiment for a slushie or something she was wanting to make. So that's what the random bowl in there is. And then you're just going to see me try to group things together, like meats together, vegetables together, breakfast items together. And then again, I just kind of wiped out the drawers as I went. Looking at this freezer clean out makes me think of another question I had for you guys. I have seen in some of the cleaning videos that I've watched over the last few weeks of some of my favorite YouTubers that occasionally they will share recipe ideas or meal ideas that their families enjoy. And I wondered if that is something that you guys would like to see. Definitely not every single video, but maybe once in a while, like some ideas that my family likes for dinner that you might be interested in for your family also. So leave me a comment down below and let me know if that or something like a grocery haul or something would be interesting to you to add as extra content in a video in the near future. This last little area that I'm going to work on in the kitchen today is our area where we drop off book bags and jackets and my purse On the top of that shelf is where Nathan empties his pockets and things like that when he comes in. Our house does not have a mudroom. I wish that it did, but those are not super common around here where we live. And so I guess this was kind of our answer to it a few years back. Nathan built this little area for me when the kids started going to school full time. So this is where we hang our book bags if we wear jackets. I think we had some rain jackets hanging there just a second ago. My pocketbook stays here, things that we just kind of need organized and easily accessible in the mornings. And then on the top of that shelf, we have a little metal container. You'll see it come back up in just a second. Nathan puts things out of his pocket, his wallet, his sunglasses, just spare change, things like that up in that little container. And every once in a while, it just kind of starts to pile up. So he is off camera going through his things while I am kind of dusting off and organizing the rest of the shelf here. And then I'm going to stick everything back on and dust off a little piece of furniture that has our bread box and a few things. Then I'm going to show you a candle that I'm lighting. It is from a local company, and she is kind of known really well locally for her candle making. It's called Hollywood at Home. I'll put a link down below. She does ship out, but she has wonderful smelling candles. And so now that my kitchen is all nice and tidy and clean, I just wanted to light a candle to keep it smelling good in there for the rest of the evening while we kind of relaxed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I hope it gave you a lot of cleaning motivation. I hope that you were able to kind of clean along with me and just kind of feel like you took a break with a friend today. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please be sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss future videos, and hit that notification bell so that you get a notice each time new videos go up. Thanks for watching today, friends. I appreciate you so much, and I hope that you have a great rest of your week.